Okay, thank you. So basically, I think for mining sector, I think when you are trying to develop a mining project, I think it has linkages across different sectors of the economy. And for the bank, I think we have a global practice that covers the extractive sector. And we have a range of specialists from mining engineers to geologists that look after our investments in the public sector. And we also work very closely with IFC. So that's an expertise within the bank that we are trying to develop and deploy within the region to assist governments and also assist SOE and also assist the private sector. But really, when we look at mining projects, of course, you have the mine gate. And then to bring the products to market, you actually have to drive outside the mine gate. You need a road, you need a port to get all the products to the market. And in practice, I think a company will go outside the mine gate and they will have to legally acquire land outside of the mine gate to build roads, to build ports, to engage with the communities, and then use those infrastructure to bring those products to market. And they go ahead and they legally acquire land, and they build these infrastructures specifically for mine use. But then that's only over the life of the project. So our group has been putting a lot of thinking into trying to understand how do we bring together the private sector, how do we bring together the public sector and look at different resources that are available from the concessional perspective outside the mine gate, and also from the equity perspective inside the mine gate. But of course, power, you get it outside from the mine gate and you deliver it to the mine. And what are the opportunities for contracting between the JV partners operating inside the mine gate, and if you like, the SOEs or other service providers providing those services outside the mine gate coming in. So one of the main issues is around infrastructure cost. If you look at a project like Wafi-Golpu, 5.6 billion, part of the cost is captured for the mining activities inside the mine gate. But there are other activities outside the mine gate to do with infrastructure. As the current practice is, they will have to go and raise finance to be able to fund those infrastructure outside the mine gate. And that in itself brings the cost of financing up. But when you start going outside the mine gate, you also have the communities. How do you uplift the communities? So when you develop those infrastructures outside the mine gate, you try to integrate with the communities also in terms of the enabling infrastructures, joint use infrastructures. So right now, I think we have a lot of infrastructure gaps in a lot of the projects throughout the country. And we are working very closely together with MRA, together with the SOE, to try and understand what has been happening in the past in terms of building infrastructures, having access to land, and financing those. And how do we work together with government also to put in place strategic infrastructures that doesn't put a lot of pressure on the capital budget for some of these projects. So you you will see in this map, I've just put down some of the most remote sites in PNG where some of these projects, mining projects, if you do develop them, they will have a lot of issues to do with infrastructure. So that's why some of these projects still remain unviable today, is mainly to do with infrastructure access. Of course, you don't see the Highlands Highway and you don't see the Ramu Grid on this map servicing projects like the current projects we have. But how do we in future work together with government, work together with private sector and the SOEs to try and get infrastructure into some of these remote sites? Again, the project also, I oversee Solomon, so I just wanted to show the slides also. So the key components of the mineral corridor development is around transport, around energy. Of course, we want to deliver green copper, clean copper, to the markets like the EU. We also have to look at the social infrastructure and also the digital infrastructure to improve connectivity. So from the bank side, we provide technical assistance to government to look at the policy and the legislation around the sector. We also work very closely with the stakeholders around capacity building. Right now, we provide support to the PNG EITI work. We are also supporting the petroleum cadastre within the PNG Department of Petroleum. We work very closely with the EITI Secretariat. On financing and investments, as I've said, my country manager is here, Kwima, you can talk to him. And we also have our IFC team here. But on infrastructure, I think we really want to work together with the private sector to really understand, and also with the regulators to understand how do we reform the way easements and all that are granted, and how do we break up the capex around infrastructure and what you do inside the mine gate. I think that's a conversation that we really want to progress and discuss with all the stakeholders. This just shows you some of the potential mining corridors that we are working on. So basically, our point here is that when we focus on infrastructure, I think we can really allow for a lot of these projects which are quite remote, which are quite costly to bring into production. We can blend all the concessional public financing together with all the private sector investments. And then that also joint use infrastructure also allows us to engage more effectively with the community and also try to integrate them into the business opportunities around these mining projects. Thank you very much, Chairperson.